Muhammad also had quite an extensive military career. Muhammad ordered his followers to raid Meccan caravans in the city of Medina, ostensibly to recover goods that he says they stole from him, but his ambitions undoubtedly were much more territorial and religious than what he led on. In some of his military victories, Muhammad was a military leader. In some of his victories, he was outnumbered by those who opposed him, and yet he was victorious anyway, and that is one of the things that adds to the lore of Muhammad. He defeated forces even though he was outnumbered. And in all likelihood, that did happen, but that's not all that unusual. This happens from time to time in war, just with superior tactics, superior techniques. Smaller forces can defeat larger ones. The same thing happened, by the way, in the what is called the American Civil War, the war between the states. For example, the Battle of Chancellorsville. The Confederates were outnumbered 2-1 in the Battle of Chancellorsville, and yet they defeated the Union troops. So these kind of things happen. It's not an indication that you are some anointed prophet of God or anything like that. The most famous military conquest he had was that of Mecca in the year 630 AD. Muhammad purified the Kaaba by removing the pagan idols and the worship of polytheistic deities, even though he himself affirmed those once himself in a false prophecy. But he conquered Mecca. He established himself as the supreme leader, and all non-Muslims were driven out. In fact, some of the non-Muslim men he had executed by beheading them, cut off their heads, and he took women and children as slaves. So again, quite the contrast, is it not, between the followers of Christ and the followers of Muhammad. Muhammad was a very violent man who was a sexual deviant. Stark contrast between the true followers of Christ. Muhammad died just 2 years after this. It is said as he was being held in the arms of one of his wives, Aisha, the girl that he married when she was only 6 years old. And there is a green dome that marks the spot where Muhammad died today, and there's an empty grave close by that Muslims believe one day will be filled and will be occupied with the body of Jesus. Now, Muslims believe in quote-unquote Jesus. They believe that he was a prophet, and Muslims even believe that Jesus will return one day, but they do not believe he's God. But they believe that one day Jesus will return as a prophet, and he will die, and they're going to put his body in that tomb. So if I were Muslims, I would not get my hopes up too highly for that event. I wouldn't hold my breath. That empty grave may be filled one day with somebody, but it's not going to be the body of Jesus.